Maurice Mitchell. Tiani Hennett. Stephanie Brown says she's here. Kelvin Stallings said he's here. And Glenda Creech. Okay, at this point, we do not have a quorum. I have 4 members as accounted for being present. If you are here, or if for some reason you didn't hear me call your name, can you announce that you're here? But otherwise, we only have 4 members.
What's going on with the Herman Park Center?
Okay, wait, I'm first trying to make sure we have, whether or not we have a quorum.
We don't have a
I see
quorum.
boxes popping up on my screen, but I'm not sure if it's people signing in or if it's just the way it's moving around.
Oh. Yeah, I failed connecting through the computer, so that's why I just called in.
Okay.
They might be having the same trouble and not know to call.
All right, so then at this point, it looks as if
No quorum.
we do not have the quorum, so this is not an official meeting. I do thank you all for, logging in, calling in today. I think, Sandra, you had a question?
I was just wondering what the latest on Herman Park Center was.
Okay. For Herman Park Center, the latest on it is, well, we're not doing anything with it yet. During budget discussions, and even as the budget was passed, it was shared with council that as far as like taking out the loan that was not budgeted in this current budget, in particular looking at the whole COVID-19 situation, we do still have plans to move forward with doing a new Herman Park Center, but it's probably, we're hoping, going to be in the next fiscal year cycle. So at this point, the building is still there. So does someone else have a question? Okay, well, I will not hold you all up, but just to update you on some of the things that have been going on, some of the stuff we touched on when we tried to meet last time, and other stuff is just kind of happening right now, I'll say. So last time I shared with the group that we were moving forward with doing half-day sports camps. This is our last week of doing a half-day sports camp, and it's actually a track and field camp. The reason this is the last week is Wayne County Public Schools, the traditional school calendar starts next week, the week of August 17th. Now, for those of you that have been following the school system or have kids enrolled in the public school system, you're very much aware that Wayne County Public Schools decided to go with remote or virtual learning for, I believe it's like the first 3 weeks of school, looking to go to what they call that Plan B option afterwards, which is like 2 days in, 2 days out. With that said, not only in our area here of Goldsboro and Wayne County, but other counties across the state, the different school systems are reaching out to the community with Parks Recreation, Boys and Girls Club, YMCAs, those types of organizations, to see if they could provide facilities for the kids to go to during the day, whether they need that Wi-Fi connection or whatever the case may be. Well, there's actually a law that kind of prevented that. The North Carolina Child Care Commission, they regulate child care, and in their statute, they define what they consider child care. And basically, if you go over 4 hours a day, you're watching 4 or more kids that are not related to you in some way, that's considered child care, and you have to have a license. they did an emergency vote. They had a meeting last week and they did an emergency vote where they amended that to allow facilities such as parks, recreation departments, boys and girls clubs, YMCA's, to offer that type of childcare, those remote learning facilities during this COVID time, so long as we have an agreement with the school system. So that's something that's recently come out. It's been shared with the school systems across the state. That's something that's been in discussion to see how we can make that work because, again, the traditional school calendar does start next week, even though it is remotely. All right, and I guess just to wrap up, other things that we've had going on, of course, during this summer, we've had our pools open. I mentioned earlier that we have the same time posted as far as being open, for instance, from 10 to 6, but because of the cleaning that we have to do, we're actually open 10 to 12, closed from 12 to 1 for cleaning, open 1 to 3, closed 3 to 4 for cleaning, and then open again from 4 to 6. So that time span of 10 to 6 that we've had in the past, we still have it. It's just we're doing it in increments now to make sure that we're following the guidelines and cleaning our facilities.
Are we seeing the traffic through there to pay for the staff, or
Well,
to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, in general, our pools, they're of course, public amenities, and the revenue we bring in from the pools really doesn't cover the lifeguards that we have anyway. This year, it's the same. We thought that we may actually see more people coming in or have more revenue because of the broken up times, but it's not. It's actually about the same or less because even though we do have the pools open, I would dare say that you still have some people that are a little antsy about coming out in public.
Felicia, over in Herman Park Center, I understand that the playgrounds are closed. Why are the gates closed to the road?
Okay. So the gates are closed on the road. We initially closed the gate when we were having to pretty much start shutting everything down. We are still encouraging people to come out to our parks, whether it's playing tennis at Herman Park tennis courts or just walking around the park in Herman Park. I'm using that as a specific example. So with that in mind, that's where we close the gates because just thinking we're going to be having more leisurely traffic in the park. I guess that's the best way to say it, from people walking back and forth across the street. Because on that side, yes, you do have the playground, but you also do have the open grass fields on that side. And as far as just people walking back and forth, just to have the extra, safety measure in place, that's why we close the gates.
Okay, my final comment on Herman Park. I don't know, Felicia, if you've ever been over there after a rainstorm, but not even this week, before that, we've had a couple where it's still backing up, way up. The roses are all pretty much dead now. I don't think that's from the rainwater, but I don't know if anyone's ever paid attention to that. If you go over after a good rainstorm, you can see where the rivers and the currents kind of happen, and it does actually get a current at certain times.
Okay, all right, so we'll make a note to go over there and look at that.
Okay. Anything on my email about the roses, or?
Well, as far as the roses, I got with our parks maintenance staff, and per them, and it is, if you look around town, we're seeing it with our other flowers around town that have no they're not attached to any type of fountain or chlorinated water, but that
Okay.
they're looking kind of weepish because we did have that heat spell going on. Even,
Yeah.
brand new Center Street drive up and down, the plants were looking, I'll dare say a little wilty. I mean, they weren't dead, but they weren't like vibrant, but the color was still there a little bit. And it's a hot summer.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm a half a block away, and I've got a knockout rose that I have not touched with water, and it's doing fine. So something's up that all those roses around that would die in year, I think, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Danielle has a question too. She wants to know: is there any way anything we can do to help you?
Such as what are you all looking to do?
I don't know. She's typing them. I don't know if she's self-muted or if she types again, I'll repeat it, or she can unmute.
No, I was just asking if there was anything that you needed us to take on during this time, even though we're not having an official meeting. But if there was anything you needed, I don't know, us to, help you with it.
I mean, the biggest thing that you all can do, which it sounds like, you all are definitely doing, is just go out and visit our parks and greenways. And if you see something that's amiss, please call us and let us know so that we can look into it. I know it's been said before, particularly our former city manager, if it looks a little hinky, let us know about it. 9 times out of 10, it's an explanation, but that one time it might be hinky and we may need to address it. Any other questions? All right, so I take it everyone fared okay through the hurricane last week?
Slept like a baby through the entire thing. It's my kind of hurricane.
There was a hurricane. When did that happen?
Yeah.
You did. It rained harder yesterday.
No, yeah, there was actually some of the conversation in the office that it seems as if we've gotten more rain before and after the hurricane than the actual hurricane.
Hurricane, yeah. I agree with that.
Well, then, I won't hold you all up any longer. I thank you all for joining in. I apologize we did not have the quorum. I know it looked as if we may appear to have one, but I did get a couple of calls late yesterday, this morning, where a couple of people that were planning on attending had to back out because other things popped up that they had to take care of.
My math is right. It's 7 right now for quorum.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send out an email to everybody on the team. But it just seems like COVID, no COVID, whatever, we need to do something to get these meetings happening, whether that's change time, change date, whatever. I'm going to send out a letter with what I think we should do. If you guys can look for that email, I'll send it today.
All right. Well, then, I thank you all for joining in. And like I said, at this point, our next meeting is scheduled for next month, which is the second Tuesday in September.
Okay, thanks everybody.
All right. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.